Hi, I'm Omar DABAGHI-PACHECO, and this is Our Ottawa. Adrian is away this week, so I'll be spending the next hour with you. We've got many stories to share with you today, starting with a little bit of salsa dancing. For the past 4 years, the Ottawa Salsa Convention has attracted some of the best Latin dancers in North America to our city. From November 8th to the 10th, roughly 100 dance performances will dazzle audiences at the Canadian Museum of History. To learn more about this Latin Dance Weekend, joining me in studio is Emmy Pepper, a participant and executive team member of the Ottawa Annual Salsa Convention. Welcome to Our Ottawa.
Thank you.
So before we get into the convention and what a convention is, because some people might not know it, the theme is salsa. How did you get into salsa dancing?
I remember the first time I saw salsa dancing was when I was working abroad in Argentina, this back in 2009.
Okay.
And I just saw it and I was amazed by how cool it looked, and I couldn't do it at all.
Okay.
So I did a couple of lessons there, and then when I moved back to Ottawa, I tried to find it. And so that's how I came across Rahim's Salsa Friday.
And is this a big part of your life? I know you participated last year in the show.
Well, salsa is. I would go a couple times a week, and I've never stopped really going to Rahim's Friday, so he's now like one of my close personal friends. But in terms of convention, so there's all different venues for salsa. There's the regular, weekly events that happen, and then there's also larger parties that attract people from all over the world, like the conventions. And they're common. Many cities have them: Montreal, Toronto, Quebec City, and now Ottawa.
Rahim's, you mentioned salsa is a salsa social that happens where people can show up and just sort of dance. The convention is something else. So what is a salsa convention for those of us who might not know?
A convention is like a big 2, 3, or 4 day intense salsa experience. It includes workshops, so many different there's a lot of different types of salsa. And in fact, I say salsa, but it's really salsa and bachata mainly, and now kizomba is getting popular, and zouk, but it's a lot of Latin dancing.
Not just salsa, so this is just like a spectrum of different Latin dances.
Yeah. So there's workshops during the day, so a lot of pros come and they'll give those workshops. And they'll also perform at night. So there's a couple hours each night of really top performances, also mixed with some amateurs too, because troops from around the country and in the States too will come and do some type of amateur, choreography type of stuff. And then at night there's social. So the social dancing is like a regular Rahim's Salsa Friday, but it's on steroids.
And I noticed from last year that people who are amateur salsa dancers or just people who just walked in get to dance with some of those professionals who you mentioned, some of the best dancers who some of them came from as far as Mexico last year, I think.
Right,
so
right.
Is it a chance also to mingle with, to dance and exchange knowledge between amateurs and professionals?
For sure, yeah, that's like the best part for me. And also just watching the stars social dance with other people and do their freestyle is really cool as well. You
are a banker by day, but this is a big part of your life. What do you like so much about these socials, about these conventions? What attracts you to those?
I think, I always liked salsa from the very first time I experienced it. And now it's a social activity, so a lot of my friends come from there, and I'm able to mingle with people I wouldn't necessarily cross paths with during the day as a banker or in my, I have my circle of friends from high school, but then my salsa friends are so much more diverse and different ages, older, younger, different ethnic backgrounds. So it keeps it, there's like a freshness there too. And it's also very easy to make friends. And if I travel for work, which I do quite often, I'll always go to salsa because I don't know anyone in the city or something. And it's an easy thing to participate and you meet people right away.
This won't be your first salsa convention. You've been to other salsa conventions and congresses before. And I understand you performed last year, and you're not a professional, but you got to go up on stage. Tell me about that.
It was nerve-wracking. I've done it a couple times now. So I did a lady styling choreo last year.
What is that?
It's where, so some pros will choreograph a routine for you. So it was on a team. I think we were about 15 girls last year. and it gives you a chance to learn and improve your technique, and also learn a routine that you can perform. So we did it at the Montreal Convention. We actually competed there last year, and we did it at the Ottawa Convention too. So there's no competitions at this one. Sometimes that's also a component of Salsa Convention, would be an aspect of competition, but there isn't. It's more for fun here.
I imagine in your daily life as a banker, you're not going up on stage and having the spotlight put on you,
No.
dressing up in fancy clothes. What was that like? You stepped up on stage last year and...
It was really fun, and I felt like a kid kind of again, because the last time I'd done a performance, I mean, would have been like in the high school band or something. Like, I don't even remember. So it was a cool experience for sure.
So is that part of what these conventions are for a lot of people who are not the professionals who are performing, but for people like you? I mean, is that part of it? Is it to have a space to shine?
I think so. I definitely enjoyed the performance more than I thought I would. It's not the main reason that I'm going. I think I'm going just because I personally enjoy the socials, and I enjoy the shows, and I enjoy to see and dance with the very good dancers. But I did enjoy the performance more than I thought I would. I think I just enjoy the feeling of like my nerves at the beginning.
So what advice would you have for someone thinking of going to the convention? Maybe they haven't danced before. Maybe they're in your shoes when you were just a very beginner, just sort of not a lot of dance background. What would you say to them? They go in, what kind of advice would you have for them?
To just go and just try it and not feel intimidated, because you'll always be intimidated, because there's always dancers that are phenomenal and that'll blow your mind. But just to have fun and experience it, and
But how do you get over that? If you're looking at these professionals dancing on the dance floor and a lot of really good dancers.
You don't get over it. You don't get over it. You always feel that. And I think you have to kind of like it too, you know? It's a bit challenging because you're there to improve your dancing. If you really love it, I think you want to be good at it, you know? But you're also there to have fun and to socialize.
What are some of the featured acts? Who are you looking forward to seeing at this year's convention?
I'm looking forward to seeing Paulina Turska from New York. She's a lady styling solo performer. I've never seen her before. Also, Johnny and Jesus from Mexico.
What kind of acts can people expect over the course of the weekend?
There's a large variety of acts. It's mainly going to be salsa and bachata.
Okay.
But then there's also going to be some flamenco, some jive, and some hip hop performances, among others.
And how many acts are we talking about here?
I think it's about 30 a night, so 90 in total.
90 acts. What's your favorite? What are you looking forward to the most?
I like salsa.
The salsa's your favorite, yeah.
Favorite.
What about this? Tell me about this venue.
The venue is gorgeous. So it's in the Canadian History Museum. It's in the foyer that overlooks the water and the Parliament buildings. And the floor is very nice. It's like a marble floor for dancing, and the sound quality is very nice in there. And out of all the conventions that I've been to, it's one of the nicest.
It is a pretty beautiful venue. It should be a really great night, really great couple of nights, 3 nights. I know from being there, from hosting the convention last year, the Team Same Gender from Mexico received a standing ovation. They were really spectacular dancers, and I'm sure this year's going to be just as impressive. So thanks so much for taking the time to speak with us, Emmy.
Thanks for having me.
And I'm happy to say Emmy stuck around to show me a few salsa moves of her own. That's coming up a little bit later in the show. You don't want to miss that.